some absolutely filthy shots with the AWP, and having a good AWPer is always important on Nuke. Just having that outside control is always going to be a fantastic thing, as we are going to kick things off here. FM eSports versus Imperial. Nuke is going to be map number 1. Can FM continue with their fine form in the ESL Premiership, or are Imperial going to throw a spanner in the works for the whole league table? And I think there's a lot of people rooting for these Imperial boys right now.
Yeah, for sure. They have got that fancy new logo, the new branding behind them. Imperial, certainly very British, isn't it? And now they need to do fantastic stuff here as they're going to get onto the B site, plant the bomb. Now they're trying to keep Stan back, but Stan does not fall back. He finds one before he goes down. FM trading out. It's a 3 versus 3 now, as they're going to completely annihilate Windusky there. Come through the door, Connor gets his head popped off, and it's only Jakey left alive. The bomb can be defused whilst Frey deals with Jacob. Yeah, it's looking likely that FM take the defuse here.
Yeah, Jacob last alive. He might be able to get to the bomb just about, but no. Fry comes in and shuts him down immediately. Bomb will get defused. I mean, actually, it's closer than expected. It is going to be plenty of time in the end, but...
Oh, never mind. It went white.
Yeah, that worried me ever so slightly. But FM start things off, as they have done ever so well in this season so far. And now Imperial have the struggle that we've all faced on Nuke when you've just lost the pistol and you have to go into these following rounds. They did get the bomb down though, so you can see they are just going to eco this round, and it will be a buy-up next round. It might catch up FM off guard. Highly unlikely, but you never know. You have to speculate here, as FM just need to hold off now. Play this as a normal round and hope to catch a few Imperial members rushing through off guard.
5 UMPs, FM wanting those close quarters fights, and you certainly get it when you start to jump into the bomb sites. Jump down secret as well. It's hard to battle up against a UMP, but maybe Resin comes around and finds Nilzinho. Not going to happen. It's going to be the USP come out and takes him on down. Only 3 remain for Imperial, and the bomb is out in the open. Hard to regain here. Connor going to try and flank around in the trophy room, but he is spotted here, and Imperial in a lot of trouble. But Connor does find a cheeky shot. Is still alive. He's going to get surrounded now, so he needs to start hitting these deagle shots. Needs to pray. There's a second! Oh my goodness, Connor. Stop it. You're going to give me a heart attack here, as he's looking for Stan, looking for Weber, but they have realized that Connor's deagle is on fire. He hits it down to 2 HP. Not quite going to find the kill. It's a third for Connor. Please stop. You cannot do this to us. Connor with 3 kills with the deagle. Weber on 2 HP. Nilzino on 2 HP as well, coming around from the rooftops. Can Connor clutch this out?
And he's found a UMP as well, and he's weak, but facing off against 2 members at 2 HP, there's every chance here. He does have the bomb, so he is going to move very quickly. He needs to do something soon. It could just be a hard angle held by FM that's going to win this for them in the end, as Connor's going to have to dart onto the site. Is going to be spotted out and needs to just dance around, try and get this bomb down, but FM are just going to bide their time and wait, and Nilzinho drops and finishes it off. Connor, he tried so hard, he came so far, but in the end, it didn't really matter.
Very unfortunately there for Connor. It was a great attempt by him, but he didn't have enough confidence, I guess, rushing into the site. It wasn't any communication that Nilzino was low, or possibly there was, but he didn't go for the shot when he was up on the rafters. And one shot from the UMP would have been enough. And you can hold it down, spray. Go lucky. Unfortunate. Did put up a good show nonetheless. 2-0 now. Imperial with guns, a Galil and Resin. Let's see if they can break onto the site and get the bomb down once more. Yeah,
Reason with the Galil there. So the only person who doesn't have an AK. So a very strong buy coming through from Imperial. And FM are just having to work with UMPs, as Connor did a lot of damage to their economy with that deagle there. Just Stanley with the M4, and apparently Stanley loves Frey. So that's always good. Glad that he's let us know where his love lies as we edge towards Valentine's Day tomorrow. And this is... I mean, if Connor can do more of the same, but with an AK rather than a deagle, then there's no reason why they can't win this round, as Nilzinho is just trapped into spawn and just seeing if he can find anyone up on those rafters. Reason does get tagged down to 22. Connor's now going to get aggressive and does find the headshot onto Nilzinho, so continuing his fine form from the previous round, gets the early pick. And now they have the man advantage, and then make that 2 as Windansky whips his Okay, on to Stanley. 5v3. Now they can pick and choose as to which site they'd like to go for.
Yeah, and you know, as you said, a lot of damage done to the economy of FM. They go for the UMPs once more just to try and build it up. Bit of a quasi-buy, as it's very cheap, the 1200 gun. So, the bomb will go down for Imperial. Frey and Pulse going to enter the site and try and take it down. Frey finds one, but gets dropped in the process. Pulse is on the ramp. Mundansky is watching the B site. Now he gets spotted out, but somehow manages to whip the shots in the direction of Windancy and find the kill. He is caught out here, and he's going to get spotted if he's not careful. Exposed to Connor and his infamous shot. Connor will finish that one off quite easily. Imperial get one on the board, and man, Connor is on fire. This guy is already at 7 kills, and we're only 4 rounds into the game.
Yeah, no, I mean, I spoke a lot about Windansky, and now he was one of the front runners, but Connor showing why he's such an important member of this squad as well. His shot is on fine form, and now they've managed to put a round on the board. Really important, and it is going to be an eco coming out of FM, so Imperial doing their job fantastically. Do need to be wary of any aggression coming out of FM as Connor tries to get the spray down onto Neilzinho. Can't find it. Fry goes down as Connor will find him instead. And Connor just continuing this crazy, crazy form. I nearly said a rude word then. Crazy form coming from him. And FM need to try something a little bit different if they're going to work their way back into the round. You can see Neilzinho has the deagle. Can he do what Connor had done previously, or is this just going to be a formality for Imperial here?
It's looking pretty good. Connor almost getting a little bit cocky with the way he's peeking these angles. He knows he can win his 1v1s. He knows he can win his 1v4s as well. And so he's betting himself, backing himself, and it's great stuff for Imperial to have that confidence coming into a round, especially on the T side of Nuke. I said before, you need to have a strong T-side nuke. And maybe Imperial have it just because the T-side has an AK. And Connor's shot is pretty unstoppable.
Jacob here, edging his way round, and Stanley eventually gets outside to try and catch Reason, but here comes Neilzinho with that deagle. I said those are the shots they need to be hitting. Connor comes in, gets another one to tally up on the crazy amount of kills he's been getting so far. And Boaster chimes in for one of his own, just leaving Pulse on his own. Pulse actually the leading man of aces in the ESL Premiership currently. So he's definitely someone you need to watch out for to go clutch in these kind of rounds. Not sure this is going to be the round for him. Doesn't have any armor to work with. Is probably just going to save this AK here.
Yep, very important to bring the AK over towards the CTs, as FM will have a purchase in the next round. So it wasn't one that they ever expected to take away here, Dan, but they can bring the AK into the next round and try and shut down Imperial and Connor in the fifth here for our first proper gun round coming forward. Boaster going to pop his head up from Secret, won't spot out Pulse. Pulse may look for the peak. He's going to get closed in on Windansky, going to pop him out. Gets spotted, gets his head blown off, and Boaster almost meets the same fate. In fact, somehow does. They traded kills. How does that happen?
Presume bomb damage?
Yeah. No,
Maybe.
That would be it. I guess.
Unfortunately, I think that was all because of the lack of armor there. The aim punch meant he couldn't control his spray down. Otherwise, he may have been able to escape with his life. Unfortunately, he wasn't in the end. But Imperial, they're pushing on well, and they're well, certainly asking the questions of FM eSports, and FM need to start answering them. And need to start answering them soon, as if Imperial can get, well, maybe 3, 4, 5 rounds against FM on their CT side, that will certainly be a success for them. More than capable of doing so, especially if they can continue hitting their shots as they have been. So it's been a struggle for FM, just because they've not been able to win those individual battles in certain areas.
Look at the difference that AK would have made to the Arsenal as well for FM eSports. 2 UMPs, 3 M4s. It could have been an AK, 3 M4s, and a UMP for them. In fact, they could have purchased up an M4 probably for the extra, so they probably could have had a full set of guns, full set of rifles. It's really unfortunate that Pulse did end up getting caught up. And FM are playing very far back now. They're respecting Imperial's ability to find shots and allowing Imperial to set up a play and make it. Try and force a bit of error from the Imperial squadron. Connor going to find Weber and takes him down instantly. Will they expect Nilzinho all the way back here at the forklift? They do, but they don't spot him, and he misses his shot, so Connor will punish once more. Unstoppable stuff from this man. Now they're going to make their way towards the B site.
What has this man been drinking? I want some of it. He's hitting everything at the moment. He shouldn't have been able to turn around and hit that shot so easily. So FM struggling here, to be honest. Perhaps they haven't respected their opponents enough. Imperial are certainly going to make a game of this. As Stanley and Pulse are the lone survivors, they're not going to go for the defuse. They are just going to save here. I don't think Imperial are going to go hunting. They'll be more than happy just to put another round on the board. Don't want to throw too much away from their economy either. So FM just going to set up across. And look at that. 11 kills from Connor. Just 2 deaths as well. And I don't want to say he's carrying his team, but if you can hit entries that successfully, it makes everything so much easier for your team to push on through, get the bomb down, and then hold the bomb afterwards. And they're probably saying, look, what has he been drinking? I want some of it.
11 kills in 5 rounds. It's insane stuff on his way towards a 30, possibly a 40 bomb if he keeps up the form. And that would be incredible for Connor. Would certainly be putting his team on his back at that stage of the game. But we need to get there for Imperial. They've got the lead, 3-2. FM are going to throw guns around. They're a little bit slow here. Is this going to be reset? No. Okay, so FM very slow off the board. Almost looking a little bit sleepish in their play. Means that Imperial get to the outside area first. And it's so important to control the outside area as a CT on Nuke. Now Frey has to go up against Jacob. Frey down in the vents, has Pulse there to help out, but the Molotov is going to make Pulse's life a little bit hard. Imperial have taken over the map.
I'm waiting for the tweets to come in to tell me it's Fry rather than Frey as well. That's always one that's up for question. As an interesting fact, I mean, Imperial actually haven't lost a series since Connor has been playing. He didn't play in week 1 when they lost to XL 2-0, but ever since he's been back, they've been in fine form. And only dropped the 1 map, but it wasn't a series that they dropped as they did tie with Infused.
And they got a default win, technically, so
yeah,
it's an interesting fact, but I'm not sure if it means anything.
Oh, come on, allow me to build the story, man.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Connor, well, regardless, Connor's building his own story at the moment. He's writing a blooming book. And they're all consisting of deagle shots and AK headshots, as he is going to once again burst in. Unfortunately, his teammate's going to get taken out. He does respond. Slightly baited him a little bit, but it's fine. He gets the trade in the end, and wonder whether Frey is going to be able to find anything here. As the bomb's going to go down, and now FM need to drop down onto this site. Are they going to drop into the AKs of Imperial, though, as they are just setting up around this bomb, going for these after plants? What can FM do here?
Pulse, really nice angle. Wasn't heard, dropping down into the vents, and so they found themselves a kill, but he's going to get pushed onto here. Imperial holding the site. Diffuse kits are there on the CTs, and it's only Windansky left alive. Diffuse is going to be a whole pull hold for Frey, but in the smoke, he's probably got at least an extra 3 seconds of diffuse time on the bomb, so it's not really an issue for FM. The execute was fine. I'm a little bit surprised that Imperial didn't hear Pulse dropping into the vents. And I'm a little bit surprised that no one was really looking towards the toxic area either. The doors opened, and Imperial didn't really react to it. So, confusing stuff there. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but the score is tied once more, 3-3. And we get ourselves a gun round once more, Dan.
Yeah, and it was an impressive round from FM. They kind of just backed off, allowed Imperial to take the site, and they were more than happy to go for a retake. So, as now Weber gets aggressive, but he's going to be punished by Boaster. Very questionable decision from Weber there. He's got teammates that are also trying to go for this aggression. It would have been fantastic if it paid off, but in the end, it didn't. And now Imperial can push through and potentially take another round here. Thankfully, Nilzinho will get one onto Reason, so they evens things up back to 4-4, and there are some weak members of Imperial here. A lot rests on the shoulders of Connor to be able to pick off more frags. Still, you need to question as to where they're going to be pushing here.
You know, I like the idea from FM. They've pretty much given up control of that outside area most of the rounds so far, so a quick aggression from three of them could catch Imperial out, but Imperial weren't sleeping, and they did manage to find the kill onto Weber, make things a little bit juicy to begin off with. Imperial, though, do need to try and make their way towards a bomb site here, and Nilzinho is making life hard for them. Finds Connor, the main man. Now he's looking for Jacob down to 36. HE grenade gonna fly on out. Jacob does his best flying impression, and Ilzino gonna find Boaster as well. Imperial a little bit too frisky on their attempts to try and push out the CTs, and FM have taken control back once more. A solid retake and now a solid hold. Imperial have had their fun, maybe FM are back.
Yeah, maybe FM now have started to realise what Imperial are trying here. Or they're just trying to avoid Connor completely, which is always going to be a good tactic when he's hitting shots. But FM just holding a lot better. An interesting decision by Weber, of course, to push and get aggressive outside. It didn't work out, but because of the trades coming out from the rest of his teammates, they were able to take the round, as it does look like a player might have dropped from the server, and I believe that's why we are going to have a pause here. Imperial losing a member on their side of the team, so we'll wait for that one to come back in as you come back to his beautiful face. And are FM back into it? Have they finally found their form? Are they going to be able to push on here and get a decent scoreline on this CT side?
I don't know. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's a messy game.
It is.
Connor is hitting crazy shots. FM don't really know, I think, what they're doing when it comes to holding the outside area. They've tried 3 different things now and had limited success so far. So it's confusing. FM are certainly a team with a lot of experience, though.
Yep.
And a lot of experience on this map. So I would still bet on them when it comes to pulling things through and sorting themselves out. But as you say, they do need to shut down Connor. And if he continues to hit crazy shots and be allowed into positions where he can hit crazy shots, then he's going to be a hard task for FM to deal with.
And how many rounds do you think Imperial would be happy with on this T side? I mean, obviously, they've got the 3 already. Despite losing the pistol early on, I was thinking it was looking pretty tough for them, but they were able to come back into it. They were able to surprise FM, catch them off guard a bit. Are we looking at them being happy with 4, or do we expect them to want to press on, maybe get 5 or 6?
Now that they've got 3, they're not going to be happy with 4 or 5. They're going to want 6. They want 7. They want to try and take the half, because they've shown that they can. Essentially, they've shown that they can get onto bomb sites, that they can plant the bomb, that Connor can find incredible frags, and that the rest of the team will back him up. Essentially, become sheep to the slaughter, as you've seen. As you know, they've sent one in just so that they get the info almost for Connor to then line up his shots. So. I don't think Imperial will be happy just taking 3, 4, or 5. I think they will want more. Certainly on Nuke, if you then win the pistol on CT, it doesn't matter if you get only 4 or 5 rounds on the T side, because you've basically set yourself up to have a solid hold. But we haven't seen Imperial's Nuke yet, so it's hard to really make a call on what they want or what they need when realistically we don't know how experienced and how good their Nuke CT side is.
I'm being told we are still waiting for the players to reconnect to the server, so whilst we are waiting, why not head on over and use the Omen ESL code onto esl.pm/Omen offer. You get 10% off anything that you do. I think there is a up to about £300-500, but that's a lot anyway. So chuck anything you want in your basket and then you can get a discount there. And it is a close game that we're currently seeing between these 2 guys, but you know what we could do? We could do a giveaway whilst we're waiting as well. Win yourself a new Omen PC, a brand spanking new one. It has a 1070 and NVIDIA 1070 8GB graphics card in it, so I want it for myself. But head on over to esl.pm/Omen giveaway for any more details. You kind of tweet or Facebook, I believe, to enter the giveaways and try and get hold of a nice new gaming rig so you can start streaming, playing games, because that's what you do on PCs, isn't it? It's play, like you said, or Counter-Strike.
Strike is the game, the name.
But it's a close one. Okay, so we have said that the kind of suspect area for FM here on Nuke is outside.
Right.
Are we going to see Imperial trying to take advantage of this? Because we haven't seen AWPs come into play just yet.
And I'm not sure we will see too many AWP buys, to be honest. Possibly Imperial CT side, they go for it if they have the economy, but FM don't often purchase one. Wow. Okay. Interesting stuff as Connor just charges Nilzinho and finds a kill, picks up an M4. Weber is holding his own, though, on the overground. Connor is on fire. Pole's going to take the battle and lose it. So this eco round for Imperial somehow is going their way. 4 members alive against the 3 of FM, and they've taken control of the B site.
Yeah, and it's that man again. Connor just pulling out the stops, being aggressive, having that confidence to push in. And FM can't answer it at the moment, but can he push on to allow them to win the round? If they can take this round, this would be huge for Imperial, but FM still have plenty of utility to work with. So even if Imperial do get onto this site, do plant the bomb, a retake is going to be very much possible for FM eSports. But Imperial taking their time. They don't want to barrel out onto this site just yet. You can see Stanley is there awaiting just above them. As Imperial now perhaps second guessing themselves, and there's the bomb going down. But the bomb does not go down because Stanley, as I said, was there awaiting. Takes down Jacob, finds Poster as well. Connor comes in to pick up his 3rd of the round. Might drop in to plant the bomb himself. He's just going to do everything for his team as the bomb does go down. And can he reposition himself now to possibly win this? It's 2 versus 2. There's so much on Weber and Fry trying to push through into this site. And Connor taking a very defensive approach. Can't escape the site just yet though. Is having to check every single angle as Windansky and Connor find the last 2 remaining kills. So Connor with a 4K there, and somehow Imperial have pulled a round out of absolutely nowhere.
And it's pretty impressive. You know, it's such a big move actually for Connor to be on a team. This season, the ESL UK Premiership welcomed Irish players as a resident, and Connor has then joined the team, opening up that possibility if you want to bring in some foreign talent. But Connor himself is just on fire here. And you've made the point, maybe a little bit flaky based on the actual statistics, but they haven't actually lost a series once Connor joined Imperial. He has been on form, is certainly showing up here today, doing literally everything, as you say, to try and win these rounds on the T side. They've got their 4th at round 9, tying the score up once more. And this is not the FM that we expect to see, really, especially when they get nuke.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is pressure or if it's perhaps just they were underestimating Imperial to start with, but certainly now they know what Imperial are capable of, as Stanley needs to back off and try and avoid those shots just raining through window there. And does back off to ramp, and Windansky will pop out and pop a little shot towards his shoulder. It's not going to make any contact just yet, though. Both are extremely weak, needs to make sure it doesn't fall off, otherwise he might die. As Windansky gets the opening frag onto Stanley in the end and gets control of B ramp as well. So Imperial can start to push in and perhaps edge their way down to B site once again, as Nilzinho has had to take a defensive approach here in Heaven. And knows full well there was someone contesting it, but Weber in a fantastic position here on ramp finds one. Can he find a second onto Reason? No, he cannot. So Imperial still with that man advantage and the chance to push onto the site now.
Yep, and with Frey with a UMP, it's not the best weapon for this long-range battle. Pulse going to find Windansky, but Connor and Boaster will trade the kills back. Only Nilzinho left alive. Upgrades to an M4, and he's going to attempt it here because he has nothing really to lose. They're going to be ecoing up. He finds one. But Connor lands his 2nd once more in the round. And this man is making a case for MVP right now. 10 rounds, 18 kills. And the half has 5 more rounds in it. It's insane stuff, really, from Connor. The next top fragger is Windansky on 7. That's a little bit more average. And in most cases would be good. In most games. Just this one, Connor is he's unstoppable.
Yeah, and now a chance for him to add more to the tally as well, as FM are having to eco up here. And obviously you touched on it earlier, the ESL Premiership obviously adds that island flag now to our badge. And this is probably why, because players like Connor are absolute stars in this league table, as Windansky gets the opening onto Stanley. I keep wanting to say Frey, but no, Stanley just loves Frey. And Pulse here. As I said, was one of those players that has been able to pick up the most aces so far in the Premiership. That is just 2, but I mean, 2 aces is nothing to sniff at. Not sure he's going to be able to do so much with just a CZ, though, as Imperial are going to make their way to B site once again. It has been their favoured site. I don't think they've actually gone to A once yet, except in the pistol round.
Yeah, they did attempt it. Didn't work out for them in the end, so they are continuously going for this B site, and well, FM, they have managed to pull some retakes off. Weber just waiting for his teammates, but the door is going to be shot down. Connor's going to find 2, and Poster's going to find a 3rd. Oh, FM just get completely taken down. Imperial have pulled ahead here, 6-4, 2 in the lead in this T side, and I'm lost for words. It's just incredible play.
And the AWP is finally going to come out, but it's going to be Glass Cannon from Nilzinho. And this is one of those horrible situations when you are on CT's side and you just can't get that bank balance. You're not able to put enough money to get these consistent AWPs, and if you do have a strong AWPer on your side, they can make the difference. And Nilzinho, with so much resting on his shoulders now, well, literally, he's got an AWP, big fat AWP resting there. Can he find this back? Find that player up there on silo to back off and not challenge outside. They've got that that the AWP is available, and perhaps now they'll just continue their aggression down towards B ramp once again. If Imperial pick this one up, this is looking so scary for FM, to be honest. This is the FM who are top of the table with a chance to win this Premiership as Boaster comes in, finds the opening onto Pulse as well. Weber needs to do a lot here at A main, but can't find anything onto Jacob and just gets smoked off. So A site has been taken well and truly as Reason picks up one onto Stanley as well, and it's just falling apart for FM. And Nilzinho, who is on that Glass Cannon, has so much to do. You can see he was there in heaven, but Connor immediately shuts him down as well. It's all falling apart. It's tatters for FM right now.
Absolutely insane stuff. And Imperial at the moment are just looking unstoppable. FM, they don't know what to do about Connor. They don't know what to do about the rest of the squad, because whilst Connor is going insane, the rest of the players are holding their own, winning their own individual battles. There's Windansky finding the last on to Frey. And 7-4 now. One more and they win the half on their T side. Nuke.
And this is crazy coming out from Imperial. I mean, they need to win this tournament. Not tournament. Well, they
need to win it.
If they win the tournament, I mean, they do need to win it. If they win this series, then they're right back in it into the league table. They will catch up FM, who are 3 points ahead of them. But this is just not what we'd expect to see from FM.
Connor's KDA is almost 6 in this game at round 12. It's pretty scary to think that he only has 4 deaths in 12 rounds. That means he's died 1/3 of the total rounds.
And that maths is paying off now, right?
Hey man, I just wanted to make a point more than anything that I can do maths, but hey, it's incredible stuff. 22-4 is Connor, and he's looking for a 30 bomb before the round even ends.
Absolutely crazy stuff, as we said, from Connor. And just the eco, so this should be 8-4 to FM, and they've not been able to get any early frags either, so it is just going to be easy pickings now for Imperial, just getting this bomb down and just finding the remaining FM players. Just Frey left without a hope, without a dream. Can't even find a spray down onto Jacob. Eventually gets it, but Boaster comes in to finish it off. 8-4, 8 rounds already on Nuke is incredible for Imperial, but perhaps we might see the same from FM. Perhaps they have so much on offer up their sleeve for their T side.
Yeah, absolutely, and their T side's not bad, so they're not out of the woods yet, Imperial, but they've made a good case for themselves. They need to kind of pull back a little bit of momentum more than anything, I think, Dan. A couple of wins towards the end of this half will be a great just confidence booster to bring you into the second half with the knowledge, the recent memory that you can win fights, that you can take those battles. They will have the AK, so it does help with that confidence as well. But they need to start hitting those shots.
Simple as that, really. And it's going to be Weber buying up the AWP this time. Can he do any damage? He certainly needs to step up and do something. He's been the man to watch from this FM side, but immediately he's shut down by Connor. If Connor finds that frag, that would have been disgusting, but thankfully Nilzinho will take him down. And now, still, the fact that Connor was able to do so much damage allowed Boaster to come in and get the trade, and it just leaves Frey and Pulse remaining. And Imperial with a chance of putting a 9th on the board, and slowly this is spiraling out of control for FM eSports, as Reason will find Pulse and Frey, but they will turn around and take him down, and now it's just 3 members left for Imperial, but they found their way onto that B site as FM are going to have to go for a retake, and I wonder whether Pulse is just going to walk into, well, I was going to say he's going to walk into disgusting play, but unfortunately it's not. It's Windansky's going to be there getting shut down, so a lot on Pulse here. He needs to try and retake this site. He's trying to scout out anyone. Going to get smoked off, but Jacob manages to get a spray down, and Pulse now has the smoke to work with, can dance around, but he's going to walk right into Jacob, and Jacob picks up the headshot with the AK. 9 rounds on the board for Imperial. Already, this is enough. They will be more than happy, but they are going to be relentless. They're going to want to keep chipping away at this FM eSports lineup, try and put themselves in the best kind of situation, the best scenario going into their CT half. Dare I say, if it's something like 11-4, that's going to be absolutely superb for Imperial.
fantastic, and their B bomb site takes have been on point. You can see that that's what they've been working on. They've just completely neglected the A site because their B site practice is showing through. They've worked out how to take it. They've worked out the positions. They've got multiple different bomb plants and after plant, rotations available to them. That one was just an extra. I love that plant, the long plant. It makes the CTs feel uncomfortable knowing that they have to go out into the open to face up against the impending doom. And Imperial are just dominating FM here. They're making a case for themselves. The table has already gone topsy-turvy with Fish only getting 1 point this week, making them on 11. If Imperial was able to take the win here, they would also force eSports into a similar scenario. However, if Imperial were to take both matches in this series, and they would join XL on 10th, and we would have 3 people on 10 points, 1 person on 11 points, and the final 2 weeks of the ESL Premiership would be an absolute delight to watch. Currently, Imperial are looking good. They need to get out of this game first. Their T side is fantastic. Let's see what they can do on the CT side. Let's see if they can close this out with a nice, healthy 11-4.
And early frags again coming in from Imperial as they push into a very weak buy from FM Esports, just trying to do what they can with money, really. You can see the Swag 7s coming out, UMP as well, CZs, but it's not going to be enough. Or is it? As Frey does find one, but does go down to Reason. Weber picks one of his own, but the Swag 7's not going to do enough as Windansky comes through, getting another, leaving just Stanley on his own. Can he keep any sort of hope here? No, he can't. Boaster puts him to bed, says goodnight, turns off the light, reads him a bedtime story, and they get a 10th round on the board.
What bedtime story would you want to be read in this scenario?
I mean, this a very happy one to try and cheer me up if I was on the FM Esports. Perhaps something like Cinderella. That does have some dark moments though, doesn't it?
I think Stanley would be reading the I Love You to the Moon and Back, the little rabbit. I remember that one back in the 90s to Frey.
I don't know what it is. Must be an Australian thing. As Nilzunio gets the opening frag, but the responses come through from Boaster and from Reason, and Boaster just actually doing some real damage. Connor was there for the assist, but Boaster getting those frags, so Connor's not going to add more to his tally, but he'll be more than happy just to get the really important kills, as it is going to be looking like an 11-4, which is just absolutely crazy.
It is insane. Absolutely insane from Imperial. Entirely unexpected. And they have it blown my mind, essentially. Going into the B side once more. Where else would they be? Connor's going to lead the charge down the staircases. And currently both CTs are upper level. Frey and Stanley, the romantic duo, have to try and pull this one out of the bag as Connor going to plant the bomb. It's almost like they've given Connor the bomb on purpose to try and stop him from getting a 30 bomb. If he's carrying around the bomb, then he's forced to plant it. It means that he can't shoot his gun in that little window. Windansky wants to close this one out. Not going to happen. Frey finds a kill. And now against 3, Frey's hands are tied. Can he find the kill? No. Connor closes it out. It's only appropriate. 11-4 is the half. Imperial on their T site to demolish FM.
24 kills coming out from Connor, and yeah, I think that 30 bomb, we're looking towards it now, and I wonder whether Imperial can have such a successful CT side. Their T side looking extremely strong if Connor continues to hit those shots. But was there anything you spotted from FM that particularly went wrong in that half? I mean, for me, it just seemed like they got a little bit too aggressive sometimes with their plays. Perhaps they could have made it a little bit more passive, but to be honest, when someone like Connor is walking around hitting those shots, it is very difficult to do anything.
Well, you can see they respected Connor early on by playing very far back. And that didn't work out because then they just allowed Imperial to rush straight onto the B side. As soon as Imperial had almost made a case for themselves and forced FM to play that respectful play style, the outside area was open for taking, and Imperial consistently played the B site, which FM couldn't hold. So maybe they needed 4 members in that B site and just try and push Imperial into the A site and attempt to change the pace up. But it's so hard to say. It's not the time to really talk about what could have been. Right now, we have to look forward, as this pistol round, dare I say, is so important for FM.
Yeah, and Stanley's managed to find his way down into the vents. Does just watch that angle in case anyone was going to follow him, but no one will as Connor continues his fine form with a shot onto Pulse. Can he find a second onto Frey? He does survive just slightly with his life, can't find that tag. We saw what he did earlier with the Deagle, so I'm not surprised he can hit shots with the USP as well. Unfortunately, Reason goes down, so FM now even this up. Imperial very cautious. They know that someone has dropped into vents. It is going to be this man, Stanley, but he hasn't been able to do anything just yet. And a very sticky situation now for Imperial, as they are very unsure where these terrorists are remaining, as Nilzinho takes down Jacob. Dansky just on top of Hut here. He's going to back off, try and get even more of an angle, but does just walk into the pistol shot of Weber, and he comes through to get more, and it's Connor going down. That's the star man. It stabs him from afar like an Assassin's Creed lunge.
That's salt right there, isn't it? That when you finally take down the raid boss that's been eluding you all night, and you finally get that shot into him, and you just punch the ground where he stood. That's frustration on FM. They know that Connor is going to continuously be a problem for them, but they find the round. It's so important. 5-11. Now they have the guns. Now they have the momentum in the half. They need to hold on to it. This time, last time, they threw it away, but taking down Connor straight off the bat, Frey is certainly going to be loved tonight. Now they need to try and get this bomb down quickly.
How is he going to be loved?
By Stanley.
Oh, okay.
He's going to pinch his
his weenus as Boaster takes down Nilzinho as well. Frey goes down. Frey, sorry, so does Weber.
Whoops.
And
what happened, FM?
I don't really know what went wrong for them there. Boaster just with an incredible hold. Up in heaven, just leaves Stanley and Pulse remaining. Stanley will try and find this frag. Yes, he does take down Reason, so back on track now. They need to work together, need to coordinate, need to decide which site they're going to be pushing on, need to be very careful as well, as Jacob is going to try and find Pulse. Stanley turns around, takes him down. Stanley now in a 1 versus 2. Will get the bomb. Perhaps he's going to try and plant this one, or is he going to go for a B site take instead? I say take, he's on his own, it's going to be hard to do so. But he is wary, he doesn't really know. You can see the panic in his gameplay. Checking here, there, and everywhere, checking every single angle. Is going to burst onto the B site and put this bomb down. He's going to go for a fake, or is Windansky going to find him with his pants down? Eventually has to just back off from the plant. Will have a smoke, does have utility to work with. Goes for the fake this time as Windansky pushes onto the site, and Stanley will find him. Looks up to vents. Can he find Boaster as well? This would be absolutely huge for FM if he can. And I wonder whether Boaster knows where he is, but look at the time. It's slowly ticking away here.
Yeah, 14 seconds left, and Stanley's going for the 1v1 onto Boaster. Does find it. Galil wins out. FM didn't expect the UMP purchase for Boaster. It's a little bit non-meta, a little bit out of the ordinary that you would purchase a UMP after losing on the CT. I mean, the economy for Boaster is going to be a little bit far behind. But because he found so many kills, the kill reward actually just makes up for it. In fact, he's sporting a lot of cash. So Imperial are going to be kind of happy that they went for it. They hurt FM's economy, held them back. Now there's 3 UMPs on this third round that they've had to rebuy, and so it's a pretty solid effort really by Boaster. I wonder if FM start playing their T side just a little bit more slowly, as they've already been surprised once by Imperial.
Yeah, I don't think Imperial will be too upset with that round, just ever so slightly damaging the economy of FM, but the important thing now for Imperial is not to get frustrated. Yes, okay, they are probably going to lose these rounds because they did lose that opening pistol. Reason gets a cheeky little headshot onto Frey, but Weber comes in and responds. We're back to 4-on-4, but Imperial will just be like, look, okay, we can allow them to get that 7th on the board. We're still in a great position. As soon as we've got money, then we can work with it. As Nilzinho just walks in and finds Windansky looking completely the other way. Boaster tries to come in, see if he can get any sort of a response on his life, but it's not going to happen just yet. That's just now Connor and Boaster on the lonesome. Can Connor do anything? I doubt with USP, but he has been doing crazy things, so I won't just yet. It's not crazy that the stars couldn't align.
Imagine if if Windansky just flicked around and shot Nilzinho down. I've had that happen to me so many times. You see someone just staring off into the distance and you think you can line up a headshot, but when you're holding that SMG, the Mac, it's so hard to aim at long range or mid range even, and that's where Nilzinho struggled. Connor here looking for an exit frag, wants to get himself a gun. would preferably be the AK of Weber, but Weber will not allow Connor to steal it away. 7-11 now for FM as they're going to look to try and push back into the half, but the next round is a gun round and a pause has come out.
If they pick up map of XL, that could ruin XL's chances of reaching finals, but we are back into this one. Thank you very much for sticking around as we blabbered on, waiting for the technical issue to be fixed. I think it was a lag issue from one of these players, so hopefully now they have reset their router and they are back on track. And I wonder whether Imperial can get back on track now that they have money to work with. Just the one FAMAS from Windansky, the rest have M4s, and this is a very brave push coming out early on from Boaster.
Yeah, I almost expected it from Imperial based on how much presence they put on the outside area on their T side, that they would continue to do so. But hey, look at this, Windansky gonna find one. Jacob, gets shut down on the A side. So it's slightly open, but Connor's still there. Frey is behind these two big pillars, columns, and that just leaves Nilzino in a 1 versus 2. Bomb in hand, gonna spot out Connor here, but Connor will shut him down. Impressive stuff from Imperial. As soon as they control the A side, the outside side, they know that it's almost impossible for the T's to get to B unless they walk through one of them. And if they walk through one of them, they can jump down those air ducts straight into the B site. So they stack members in A, making the A hold impenetrable.
Yeah, really confident stuff coming out from the Imperial lineup, and then Connor once again getting those important frags, able to survive as well. He was taking a very defensive position on A site that they weren't able to. He wasn't the first point of contact. So I like what you said earlier about them just trying to flood out Connor, but if they're getting onto the A site and Connor's not the first person they're spotting and he's still alive, then it becomes easy pickings for him, as Imperial do have a 12th on the board now. It is a relatively awkward buy for FM, but still three AKs to work with, so expect Nilzino and Frey to push in first to get as much information, and then the riflers to follow suit. Look at this position from Connor. He's switched things up. Perhaps he's got a little bit of information, thinks there's someone trickling it down secret.
And there's 3 Ts currently in it. Imperial held back and allowed FM to take control of the outside, and now Bose is going to spot out everyone rushing on up to the observatory room. A lot of info here for Imperial to know that the B site take is likely. But who's got the bomb? It's Pulse. Where is Pulse? Currently heading back towards Secret Stairs. That could say that FM are just looking to try and pull the CTs into a fake.
Yeah, just trying to lull them into a false sense of security, perhaps, but Boaster picks up one onto Nilzino. Frey is now going to burst onto the A site. He's going to be greeted by Windansky's AK, shuts him down. Frey comes in to get the trade. Can he find a second? No, he can't. But Pulse and Weber come in, but Connor's on the scene once again, finds 2 of his own, and suddenly it's a one-on-one. It's Boaster versus Weber. Weber does have control of the bomb, but here comes Boaster now with the possibility. He is at B. Does he know where the bomb is? He's going to, unfortunately, it takes the 50-50, and he will get it wrong. So he now needs to pile back up to the A site, and this is advantage Weber, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I think that's really unfortunate for Boaster. 6 seconds left on the clock when the bomb does get planted, and he did go for the B site, trying to get in there quickly. I think the A site may have been a better choice, but it doesn't matter because Boaster will get the kill anyway. I say the A site would have been a better choice. That sounds really silly because I know where they were going.
Of course, yeah.
I think the A site's better anyway because you have the ability to drop down onto B, and height advantage is actually a really big thing in shooters. So having that height advantage coming down from the vents could just win you a fight. I'm not saying that because I had X-ray and I knew where the bomb was. I'm saying that just from a shooter standpoint, that if you can approach from high to low, usually that works better.
Well, in the end, he did approach from high to low, coming from heaven, and being able to find that frag. So really important. Imperial put a 13th on the board, and FM continuing to try and force up here. They've gone for the Tech 9s. They have 1 AK to work with. And slowly, this map is slipping away. It's just been a great performance from Imperial, and Connor's continued to put kills on the board as well when they did burst out onto that A site. And FM really needs to change things up. They need to do something special, as Nilzino currently being burnt to a crisp. Needs to be careful not to push too much into those flames. Are FM going to go for a B take? They need to do so. I think they need to go for something quite fast, quite rash, to try and surprise the Imperial lineup, but I don't even know if anything can surprise the Imperial lineup. They've looked phenomenal in all areas, to be honest.
Yeah, and incredible stuff, and they're holding fast here. It's a little bit hard to see exactly where the T's are going, but we'll get those accolades back on, and now we know exactly where they are. Out on the ramp area, and looking to try and take down onto this B site. But they have to be careful, because lurking on the other side is Reason with that UMP can get up close and personal and try and take down Weber. Bomb gets planted, and FM have control of the site. Connor, though, will find Frey pushing and tags Stanley down as well. Stanley looks to push, but Jacob has the AWP and will take the shot as well. Finds it, easy peasy. They switch it back out. Connor now with the AWP. They're just swapping it around. Pole's going to find Reason. Headshots him instantly with a Tech 9. Makes it a little bit easier for the T's here. 2v2 as Weber finds Jacob. Connor going to come round with Wendensky, but not going to happen. Pulse finds Connor. It's a 1 versus 1. Diffuse kit for Wendensky, and he can't go for the shot. He has to challenge Pulse, and he's running out of time. The bomb's going to blow up. Can Wendensky get a liar out with the AWP is the question. I think he will just get blown up. And Imperial lose that round.
Important that FM being able to put that one on the board, especially considering they had so little to work with. Somehow coming through with the victory, just with the 1 AK. And a lot was on Weber, to be honest. Well, Pulse and Weber doing phenomenally to defend that 4v2 situation. That frag from Pulse with the Tech 9 was quite a substantial one. But now Imperial have to eco. They have to go again. They have to see if they can try and go for that shock and awe style, try and surprise FM, perhaps go for a push, as Boaster is going to be getting a little bit aggressive, but he does spot Stanley, so now he backs off and will just drop down into B. He's not going to want to take that fight. Instead, he's just going to give the information. He probably spotted several of those T's hurtling towards him. And the information now had by Imperial. I wonder what they're going to do in reaction to that. Are they going to try and go for some sort of a stack onto a site, or are they going to continue to hold their angles? Reason does find himself outside in Garage. No one is outside to play with, though. And it's all going to come down to whether anyone can pick up just an important frag with a pistol and find a weapon. If they can find one weapon, then they're right back into this round. But with just pistols, it's hard to win.
Certainly is. Boaster on the site will get taken down. And this is just a pistol round, so let's not read too much into the positioning of Imperial players. But the previous round, they gave up ramp control. And that's exactly what FM has realized, that the ramp is the weak point for Imperial. They can take control of it and then walk around. They have control of both the A site and the B site when that happens. To make their choice, and B seems to be the target. So they will take that round fairly convincingly as expected. 9-13 now. And we'll have to see if Imperial does decide to save up once more, maybe buy some pistols, get that deagle onto Connor, see if he can't do something crazy once more. But he's got his 30 bomb. He's done it.
He has got those 30 kills, but you're right, it is going to be another eco for Imperial. You don't want to do anything too rash. They're not going to buy up, they're not going to force aggressively. They know they don't need to. They know the ball is still very much firmly in their court. It's pretty much glued to the court at the moment. And FM need to get out a chisel and start hacking away at it if they are going to get their way back into this game. But they're doing everything right at the moment. You're right, they have been favouring that B ramp just as Imperial were on their T side. So perhaps an area where all teams are slightly lacking at the moment. Utility to work with from FM, just playing this slowly as if it was a gun round. They don't know if Imperial have brought up. They might be worried about Mag 7s or UMPs for sure. It is just going to be pistols that they are greeted with. It probably will be a sigh of relief when they do get onto a site. Imperial, though, not doing anything crazy either. They haven't pushed outside as a 5 or anything. They're just more than happy to hold their angles, hope they find a gun.
And this is such disciplined play coming out of FM. It's what Endpoint lacked a little bit on the gun rounds, was the discipline to treat it like a normal round, use utility, respect the possibility that you're going to be outclassed in the guns department. FM didn't know whether it would be pistol or force, but they respected it nonetheless, and they're not going to give away as many that many advantages because of it. They do lose 2 members, and now the pistols do have a man advantage. Holy crap! They've got just Weber to go through, and Weber will find Connor. Has the bomb in hand. Gonna try and escape to the B site. A 1 versus 2, Dan. 11 seconds. He needs to plant now.
He needs to plant it now. Does get the bomb down. Isn't going to hold off on this one, but now he just needs to take an after plant. He is going to be against 2 AKs to work with, but neither of them have any armor, so aim punch is certainly going to be a difficult thing. So much riding on Weber now. If he loses this round, this is absolutely detrimental to the rest of their game. So important for him to try and just stay alive, take an angle. You can see the Imperial members are not aware of where he is, as they are just going to tap that bomb and try and lure him out of the dark places where he's hiding. And he can't find the kill. Reason will take it. Plenty of time here to get the defuse as well. And somehow, just somehow, Imperial put a 14th on the board. And what a shame for FM. They were looking in such good nick, but against just an eco from Imperial, they're not able to win that one out. And once it's just... It's
heartbreaking
stuff.
more than anything.
And very heartbreaking from FM. It looked like they were going to make a game of it. Okay, yes, they've still got money to work with, but so do Imperial. Imperial can now buy up, and they're just 2 rounds away from taking this map.
And for Imperial's chances in the second game of this series to be better than they currently are, they need to close this out now. If they get the win, they say to FM, we beat you on an eco, we should have had that round, but you gave it to us, and now we take the first game. Now we're just going to take the series. That's kind of how momentum can, escalate, snowball. And so Imperial want to win this round, get that match point instantly, and then take it in the round 26. That would really hurt FM and their confidence going up against this young blood. Currently looking good for it as they find Stanley straight off the bat. Now they can hold fast and allow FM to walk straight into their clutches, allow FM to make the mistakes as they attempt desperately to regain control.
And now the push will come through, but the flashes will stop anyone pushing in too quickly. Molotovs do come out to try and delay something, but Boaster's there to get the opening onto Frey. Weber goes down as well. And is this just easy pickings for Windansky? Yes, it is. He finds one through the smoke, and Boaster comes in and gets a second. Imperial put their 15th on the board. It is going to be match point now, and there's very little money to work with for FM. And you are totally right, Dulcie. It is a very much... There's a lot of these teams that are heavily based on momentum. They are momentum-based teams, and I've got to say, now FM, do they start to worry? They saw the results elsewhere. They saw that Fish didn't pick up a win, and they knew if they were able to put one on the board, their chances of finals were fantastic, to be honest. Kaz getting the default win means they're also up there, so this is tough for FM. They need to do something. They need to do something fast, and perhaps that's it as Pulse gets the opening onto Boaster now, and they're going to push down because the bombs just managed to find its way onto the B site. They obviously went through vents nice and quickly, and Imperial are going to have to try and retake this one.
Yeah, Pulse is just dominating here. He doesn't want to give this up. And he's going to find some kills for himself. Going to try and challenge on to Weber. Nope, he wouldn't, because that's his own teammate. Getting a bit confused in the chaos, because this round is chaos, as FM are desperately looking for a win to hold on into the series and push towards an overtime. Currently, it looks like Imperial might just be giving it to them, not playing this too quickly. Jacob does find one with a fire. Windansky, the only one alive, but he's been here before. Can he get away this time is the question. This time, I think he might just be out of range. And he won't go down to the bomb. But 10 to 15. Somehow FM just turned the pace from a casual 30 to 120 instantly onto the bomb site. Take everything down. Imperial were just caught.
Yeah, they just went for something a little bit different. It was a do or die round, and at the moment they're very much doing rather than dying. Important early frags coming out from Pulse, and the fact they were able to get the bomb down vents was absolutely phenomenal, especially considering the hold on the A site, but this time it's not going to work out as Reason will take down Frey, but I don't think he had the bomb with him.
No, they were expecting that the same play might happen, the rush onto the vents to try and get onto the B site quickly. And Imperial do not allow it to happen a second time. Pulse, though, still on fire. Will find Connor. An important frag for him. And he finds a second as FM, once more, they turn the gas up. And they're looking to try and take a round. They want this overtime heading in towards the A site. But unfortunately for them, that's where the CTs are. So they're going to have to fight for it. Windansky going to take his life and fall. But Boaster is still alive. And a 1 versus 3 up in heaven. Can he do it? Is the question. Flashed on out down to 19 HP. The Freya goes out. But Boaster just about gets away with his life.
Yeah, and now he just wants to save this AWP into the next round. I wonder whether anyone is going to push him or get aggressive. But FM, they're staying in this. The questions were asked by Imperial, and currently they are being answered by FM, who have every right to get back into this game if they continue to frag like they are doing so. Pulse really picking it up now, really stepping it up. I said he was one of those players that is capable of getting these important kills. Just needs to carry on doing more so. Just like Connor did on his T round, just having that one player who's hitting their shots on their entries can make the difference.
Certainly can. Now, Imperial's wondering to themselves, what just happened? Where did this FM squad come from? because FM are refusing to die. Pulse, 19 kills, currently leading his team. Trying his best to hold them into this. It is going to be the pistols and the AWP saved by Jacob. So Imperial unlikely to win it, but we said that last time and they stole it away from FM. Jacob does get caught out by the Molotov, tagged down, 14 HP. Not too much, but it's a little bit worrying when you are the AWPer. And now their smokes come out to try and get into the B site safely for FM. They've slowed down the pace just a little bit here, Dan, but they can afford to against the pistols.
I like what Jacob's doing as well, getting really aggressive in radio. Nilzinho gets the opening on to Windansky. But Jacob was trying to make a play. Yes, okay, he had the AWP, but he was saying, why the hell not? Let's try and finish this one off. And they are firmly holding this A site, but unfortunately for them, looks like it's going to be a push towards the B site for FM, but Imperial will have to just pick and choose and hope to stack a site and see if it's going to be successful. Big opportunity for Jacob to make a play here. If he can find a couple of frags with the AWP, then perhaps there's a chance of finishing this game off, as Boaster with the Deagle tries to pop a couple of shots into Nilzinho, but won't connect with any of them, as Stanley now comes in, gets the trade onto Boaster, and now it's just going to be 3 members left. It is going to be a frag for Jacob, and has everyone else gone back up? As Imperial dropped in, FM have just backed off, and there's 1 member heading up to the A site, and the rest are going to head up secret, as Reason tries to surprise Pulse, but it's very hard to surprise the Pulse man who's been hitting so many shots. And Jacob finds himself in a similar situation from last round, where it's a 1-on-3, can't connect with the AWP shot as well, needs to be careful because the flashbangs, they're hunting him. They don't want him to keep this AWP. The bomb has gone down, and the kill will come through, the 12th round on the board for FM. And, well, they're making a game of this.
They are certainly. They don't want to give this one up to Imperial. They were upset on their CT side. Now they're looking to try and do the same to Imperial here. 12-15, as you say, and the guns have come out. 3 M4s, 2 FAMASs, 2 defuse kits, and limited utility. They prioritize the Molotovs here, Imperial, to try and slow down the fast plays from FM, stop them from grouping up and rushing the tight corridors that Nuke. Have to see if the utility works out. They've already used quite a few of those Molotovs, 2 in the kit. 4 left, 2 smokes left as well. So Imperial have thrown their utility just to slow it down. Boaster spots out Stanley there. Stanley also spots Boaster, but no one fires a shot. And once more, ramp is open for FM to take.
Yeah, as Pulse is pushing down secret here. No AWP on the side of Imperial, didn't have the money to work with, but Nilzinho has one of his own. A lot for him to do. Could try and, if he finds a pick, that'll be really important, but no one was playing ball outside, as Imperial are not, well, they are not getting too aggressive here. They are sitting back, being very patient, very passive, and just waiting for FM to make the move, and that's when they're going to burst out. As you can see, Boaster is just defending this site so passively. He needs to be careful coming from his right, though, as Pulse is going to burst in and once again find an opening frag, as now the Imperial train is going to bombard down into vents, but they're going to be greeted by Pulse's AK, Stanley's too, just Jacob and Windansky left. And with Imperial putting this one on the board, with FM putting this one on this board, it is difficult for Imperial suddenly to win this game. I mean, we're potentially looking at overtime here unless anything drastically changes from Imperial. They haven't been able to respond to the early frags coming out from Pulse. As Weber is going hunting, he knows that they've backed off. And Windansky, can he find some frags? He finds one. He finds a second as well, so they're not going to take that M4 off him. So important that he stays alive and keeps this M4.
Yeah, he gets an AK as well if he wants to upgrade, and I can't see why he wouldn't. Maybe hold on to the M4 until the round ends. Here comes Frey, but he's going to pop the head as well. That is 3 kills going his way. That's a lot of kills. A bit of a dent into the economy of FM, but economy doesn't really mean anything for FM at this stage, because the only way that they win this game is by going forward. If they take one step backwards, they lose. So the 2 M4 is going to go into the next round. Important for Imperial, because they're going to eco this next one and make it a 14-15 contest, unless they upset in this round, and it's possible for this team. Boaster going to push up close with his 5-7. Look for the frags onto Nilzinho. Did he get spotted? I don't think he did. Frey is going to spot out Windansky, and Pulse is going to take Boaster down. So it makes things hard for this CT side. They find Reason up on Tot as well. Connor and his Deagle against 5. It's a man of legends. This is where the myth was created, Dan. Were you there when Connor got a 5k deagle to win the nuke game? There's the first, there's the second. He's looking for a third, but it's not going to happen. Connor almost does it.
I mean, almost is a strong word. I mean, he started off well. I was hopeful, and I thought the legend was going to be had, but unfortunately we won't be getting the scrolls out. We won't be carving anything into the walls just yet, as Imperial 15-14 up. They were in such a commanding position, but FM, they've come back into this game. There is going to be an AWP for Jacob now, and what a big round this is. How huge is this round for the Premiership in general, as Jacob and Nilzinho both find frags with the AWPs. But Connor is in a fantastic position. There's trades coming here, there, and everywhere as Jacob gets the one onto Frey. So the man advantage now for Imperial. Is this the round where they slightly ruin FM's chances of reaching finals and just keep their hopes alive of reaching finals themselves? Stanley and Nilzinho with it all to do now, and Connor slowly creeping around. Can he find Nilzinho, or is he going to be caught out? Is he going to be spotted? Is his plans going to be thwarted? Tough now for Imperial.
I love it though, because they've given up ramp control so often. Would FM expect a flank from the trophy room, the radio room? Probably not. They're going to go towards the B site as always. Try and get the bomb down. 50 seconds, so plenty of time with here for FM. They can continue this slow walk. And hey, Connor spot out Nilzinho, and he's going to sneak up on him, but he gets spotted. Doesn't matter, shoots him down. It's all on Stanley now on the site with bomb in hand, planting it out, but Windaski's going to open up the doors and try and shut it down. He's done it. 16-4. Imperial take the round, and the top spots are wide open, Dan. This means that it's all to play for.